I'm Waleed Khan. I'm one of the committee members of the Rushmoor Community Awards. And here we are with Mark Sanderson from Farnborough Airport, who were one of our Community Award winners. Mark, nice to meet you again. Thank you so much for giving your time up. Let's start by introducing Farnborough Airport. We all know Farnborough Airport, but tell us more about what Farnborough Airport is as a business.
Well, as you probably all know, the airfield's been here a long time. It's the birthplace of British aviation. 1908, Samuel Cody, the first powered flight.
Yes.
But since 2003, it's been a business aviation airport. And we're proud to say we're been consistently voted Europe's #1 business aviation airport. And as a group, Farnborough Airport Group, that represents not just Farnborough Airport, but also the Aviator Hotel and the Swan in Farnborough.
So you've got them there. So you've mentioned how long the airport's been operating in Farnborough. So that's quite a legacy that you've got here. Mm-hmm. What are the biggest changes that the airport has seen and you've seen since you've been here?
Well, yes, we were very proud of that history, but we're equally excited about the future. Maybe there's been a lot of change because we're always looking to make Farnborough Airport best in class to improve the facilities. But I think one of the big examples of change in recent years is some of the other businesses who have joined us. One great example is Gulfstream, who were previously based at Luton. They've come to Farnborough because of the service we have here.
Because of Farnborough Airport.
Yeah, exactly, and being sort of the gateway to London. So that's been a big change. I mean, all in all, it's close now to 100 tenants. So there's a big business community here. It's not just us alone, Farnborough Airport. So that's been a big positive change.
So that's a great segue, and you've touched upon Gulfstream. I've been saving up to buy a Gulfstream, and I think I'm never going to get there, but I'll keep saving. You've touched upon a very important aspect, which is the business and economic impact an organisation like yourselves brings to the area. How does that impact on a day-to-day basis, supporting the local economy, and what are the other things that you might be doing that are lesser known, which our community may not be aware of?
Yeah, well, I think maybe not a lot of people realise the sort of the scale of the airport. As I said, it's us closing onto 100 tenants now. And if you look at if you ever come to the airport and look out the window, we're talking of pretty much 8% of all of Rushmoor is just the airport.
Right.
So all in all, that's more than 3,000 jobs. So it's a lot of people's livelihood. If you take the airport and the aviator, all our team members, the vast majority, 75%, live within a 10-mile radius. So it's a local employer of choice in many ways. And in terms of what we're doing locally, of course we're getting aircraft coming out of the airport, but it's in many ways one of the biggest customers are the pilots of the aircraft. And if we give a good experience, customer service wise, they're more likely to recommend they come here again, and that has a huge knock-on effect for local business, whether it be hotels, local restaurants, taxi firms, florists, you name it really. There's a big knock-on effect, and we've had a lot of businesses come to us to tell us those stories, which is it's exciting for us.
Fantastic. And that footfall that benefits the local community is so important, isn't it, when it's coming here and then going out into the local community?
Well, yeah, very much so. I mean, just to segue a bit on that, the second part of your question, talking about what else we do.
Yep.
Because naturally, us not being a commercial airport, not everyone gets to come here because we're business aviation. So, we have our own fund. So every time a plane leaves or arrives, depending on the weight, we put £2 to £5 in a pot. It's quite a long. It's the Farnborough Airport Community Environmental Fund. It's managed by the council, Rushmoor. So last decade, approximately 600,000 has been invested into local projects.
Fantastic.
And we do try and continue to promote that fund really with that fund particularly, anyone can Google that fund. You'll come up to the page on the council. As long as you're an organisation or a sports team or a charity, as long as you can demonstrate a wider benefit to the community, it's worth giving them a call to apply, because that funding money is available.
Well, that's fantastic.
So, sticking to the economic part of Farnborough Airport, I know you are home to a lot of businesses on site. Can you tell me a bit about that, please?
Well, just to go back maybe to one of the most well-known, Gulfstream, for example, coming to the area, big thing for us. That's a maintenance facility, so that is more of an engineering facility.
Yep.
They offer apprenticeships. I know there's been young people I've met from local schools in Rushmoor who've gone on to work there. That's fantastic. I mean, I'd be here all day if I had to name everybody, but we've got Farnborough International, who effectively host the Airshow every 2 years. The airport facilitates that. And, of course, perhaps maybe a lesser known business at Farnborough Airport is Farnborough Film Studios.
Mm.
So, Farnborough, famous for being the home of British aviation, Aldershot, the home of the British Army, but maybe now Farnborough, home of a lot of Hollywood movies. They've got a studio there that's rivaling what's in London and Hollywood. So that's another fantastic, I think, asset. And it's not to suggest you don't have to necessarily be a movie star to work in the films. To make a film happen, you need everything from camera people, tradespeople to make the set. I mean, you could list off reams and reams of different professions. So that's another exciting, I think, area in business locally. I mean, sorry for anyone I haven't mentioned, because there's lots and lots of local businesses.
Oh, yes, yeah.
I think definitely talking about the wider aspect that you do will hopefully resonate with the impact that you do actually have. And so the award of getting the Community Business Award was absolutely justified, I think.
Absolutely, yeah,
And
yeah.
it's a great.
Yeah, I heard you, especially during COVID, you helped, especially like taxi firms, to keep going, because everyone was stuck at home, obviously, and COVID, it was that time when everyone was scared to be around everyone. But taxis, obviously, because of the nature of their business, it had a big impact on that. And Farnborough Airport helped for those taxi drivers to continue their service.
Really nice hearing that, because we've heard that before, taxi firms being appreciative of the business they get from Farnborough.
So, Mark, just coming on to wrapping up this part of your busy day, but we're very, very mindful and so grateful for your involvement. We were glad that you were recognised for a Community Business Award, and you've already touched upon all the good community work that the airport does. How did you feel about achieving that recognition?
Well, it's always nice to be recognised.
Right.
But in many ways, it wasn't necessarily about Farnborough Airport. It was about us being seen as part of this great community.
Yep.
And yes, we're a business aviation airport. Yep. You're not going to come here to go on holiday. It's a different business, but certainly as one of the largest employers in the area, we want to be involved with community events like this that champion local causes. So it was great. It was great to be involved. It was great to meet a lot of new people doing great stuff locally.
Yes. Certainly from our perspective, it was great to have you on board. Looking ahead, how do you see the future for the airport? We know there's lots happening.
Well, we're really looking to continue our work particularly with local schools. It's brilliant to bring youngsters in and teachers to see that. And at Farnborough Airport isn't just about pilots or engineers. In fact, job-wise, it's pretty much everything else. So it's looking to help raise aspirations, inspire. That's a big part of what we want to do, and not just children and teenagers. Adults too. We've continuing our professional certificate in partnership with the Tech College in Farnborough. So really helping people of all ages, into the workplace. Beyond that, we do have a volunteering program where team members can work for a day helping community projects. We've done a lot of different things from, supporting mock interviews with pupils to, maintaining local school grounds. So, we'll continue to be, active in that space. And that's always a good opportunity to tell those different organisations and groups about, what we're doing. Yes, we're an airport, but we're also a big employer and a big part of the community.
Yeah.
You touched upon the Tech College. Do you offer apprenticeships?
Yes, we do. We've got apprentices currently,
Right.
and that's been a great thing for the business. People who have gone to school and college locally have ended up working at the airport. Traditionally, maybe some people growing up have felt the need to maybe leave the area, but we think it's a great opportunity to work in
Absolutely.
Rushmoor. There's a lot of globally leading businesses here.
Indeed.
You can have a great career. It's not just us offering apprenticeships. A lot of our tenants and other local businesses do too, and that's fantastic.
Fantastic.
Before we finally wrap up, I just want to touch on the environmental part of or aspect of the airport. If I remember correctly, you are the cleanest airport in Europe, or can you?
Well, what we are, Mara, we've been carbon neutral for a while now. We're the first business aviation to go carbon neutral. We're looking to be net zero by 2030. Obviously, that's for our ground operations. We've just had this big, you can't see it above our heads, but a solar rooftop installation to help create our own energy. But beyond that, for aircraft, we've been supplying sustainable aviation fuel since 2021, continuing to promote how we do that, because whilst the industry is waiting to bring in electric and hydrogen planes, we want to encourage what's available now, which is, we'll call it SAF. It's a bit easier to say than sustainable aviation fuel. And obviously the creation of that can help support a lot more green jobs. So we're probably fortunate in some ways that, of course, we are a big airport. If you come and visit, it's big, but in relation to other commercial regional airports, we're generally speaking smaller. So we're probably a bit more agile in some ways, how we can make some of these changes. So it's an important area that we do recognise. It's quite unusual actually at the airport, because a lot of people don't realise out there beyond the runway, we're actually a triple SI area, a site of special scientific interest. We've got some of the rarest orchids and grasslands in the south. We've also actually got one of our team members is a registered beekeeper. We do have a couple of beehives at the airport. So there's perhaps a lesser known fact about how we're trying to encourage biodiversity in the area.
It's a known and interesting fact, actually, because I didn't even know about that.
No, well,
That's very excellent. That is really superb.
Yeah. And you are leading on environmental activities as well in terms of litter picking ahead. You do get involved in that?
Like I said earlier, so many of our teams live locally. So the likes of over the road, Southwood Country Park is very much their country park. So we do a lot of the volunteering days focus on things like litter picking. I know last year Rushmoor Council did a bit of a campaign with their influencers, not influencers. The aviator and the airport supported that. A lot of local businesses doing a lot of work to try and keep the area a nice place to live, really.
Well, Mark, thank you so much. I've certainly learned a lot about what Farnborough Airport is about, and what I didn't know about as well. So lots of great stuff there as well. We've talked about what the future's hoping up for us. Have you got any projects, any initiatives we can help you with, or you'd like to share with us?
I think for us at the airport, it's really building upon, what we're doing. We really want to work together with the community. We want to raise aspirations. We want to support people into the workplace. And we want to be the employer of choice in the area. So whatever we can do within that, we're looking to sort of build upon further.
Right. Fantastic. Thank you so much for your time. Keep up the good work.
Both.
Thank you.
Thank you both.
Well done.